Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to Open Chat. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels, and to my non-existent audience, yes, there's going to be a rant. Now, I moved the Friday to today because on Friday, let's be honest here, I was feeling like absolute hell. I was in a massive amount of pain because of all the storms that had blown through here. And yeah. It was I don't know if you've ever had the pain that is so sharp that it almost feels like it pierces your brain and completely removes the ability to have any form of critical thought or form a coherent sentence, but that was my Friday. So, hello. Took a little bit of a vacation because got a house sit church. And yeah, she's kind of her own process, right? So, hello, everyone. Well, it's been an interesting week, hasn't it? It's been a real interesting week. Let's start with God, so much has just happened in a short period of time that my brain's been having a hard time processing in order to catch up with everything, particularly when you're on a week with back-to-back calls because it's a big furniture sale. And not everybody that's calling and waiting for over an hour in order to speak with an agent actually needs to buy something. God, I hate my life sometimes. I really do. Especially when you spend almost an hour on a single phone call trying to get someone to name the product that they're trying to buy. Freaking wanted to bang my head into the wall until I knocked myself unconscious just so I can stop the stupid. But yeah, that. We've had literally, out of nowhere, once again, all the AH stands coming out of the woodwork and calling us this, that, the other thing. Oh, you're threatening doxing. What in God's name makes you think I have the time to dox anyone? I barely have the time to think straight. Because when I'm not on here fighting against the JRC, fighting against people in my state trying to take the autonomy over our bodies that autistics have in my state, or fighting against the out-and-out lies of the GOP out here in Missouri, particularly in regards to drag queens and the fact that they have a very bad habit of photoshopping or taking pictures from other countries and claiming it's happening here when it's not. I don't have the time to dox anyone. I really don't. I don't have the time. I fight the JRC. I act as a mentor. I fight ABA. I fight just general misinformation about autism all day, every day. I'm on the phones, constant back-to-back calls. I don't have the time or the energy or the wherewithal to attack these people by doxing. I really don't. I try to avoid them at all occasions, but every once in a while they say something so mind-numbingly stupid that I can't restrain myself from responding. So that happened. Hi, Sean B. Good to see you. And then last night, supposed to be my Friday where I get to relax, right? Yep. Get ready to like breathe a sigh of relief because my short weekend has come. Nah. because it started about around 10 p.m. or so when things started circulating about the Joe Rogan podcast. I've never been a fan of his. He panders to the anti-vax nonsense. His lists of achievements include bringing onto his show the freaking tinfoil wearing. He caters to the tinfoil hat crowd. Can we say that? Can we say that? I'm going to say it. So, what does he do? He brings on presidential candidate, and I say this as I can feel vomit in the back of my throat. Presidential candidate, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Now, someone with intelligence spoke out about the insane theories that RFK Jr. has been peddling around for decades. Vaccines bad, MMR causes autism. No rest for me. None, because this individual who is now leading in the presidential polls, I want you to all think about this, leading in the presidential polls, has been for the last 2 decades, peddling the insane MMR vaccines cause autism bull. He was one of the leading out of two pushing this insanity. Him and the disgraced and delicensed Andrew Wakefield. And they put him on this show, right? A doctor dares to confront this stupidity. What happens? Joe Rogan double downs on stupid. It says, all right, doctor, come on to my show and let's debate this. It's what the American people deserve. Where have you been the last 3 decades? Because it's been debated over and over and over and over again. Can I tell you how these debates usually go? I know because I've participated in just about all of them in some form or capacity, usually through forms of social media. It goes a little something like this. It's like dealing with an AH stand, right? You show receipts, in this case, data. And I'm not just talking data from one source. I'm talking data from the World Health Organizations and other studies and peer-reviewed data that has been done across the globe by multiple universities and labs. You present this evidence. Want to know what happens? Do you think they debate on the data? No. If you do this, you must be a shill for Big Pharma. You must be paid to do this. Oh, it gets better. That data is fake. Yep. Every time you show them data, you show them facts, you bring receipts. It's kind of like dealing with a toddler. They will close their eyes, plug their fingers in their ears, and hum. This is what I'm imagining in my head here. And basically tell you that whatever receipts you just presented, whatever data and facts that you just produced is fake and funded by Big Pharma. Does somebody want to explain to me, how are you supposed to debate someone with this mentality? Can someone explain this to me? How can you actually engage in a meaningful debate with an individual who will look at your data, look at the studies, and their comeback is that it's fake and done by Big Pharma? Because you can't argue with these people. Hi, Cement Shoes. It really is like dealing with an stan. It really is. It has been proven ad nauseum at this point that autism is genetic. And a good majority of us individuals who have it can very much point out to at least one of our elder relatives who very obviously is neurodiverse too. Damn near all of us can. I have yet to meet an individual who shares my diagnosis who hasn't been able to do this. Right? But no, it's the MMR vaccine somehow. Something with mercury to a smaller level than a can of tuna somehow is the cause. And again, like an stan, you pull up data, you pull up facts, you pull up receipts, then you're a part of the conspiracy. That's what they claim. You must be getting paid by Big Pharma. Does any of this back here look like I'm getting paid by Big Pharma? Any of it? My clothes on my chair back behind me, my Dollar Tree Christmas lights, my Walmart furniture. In Missouri, does any of this scream that I'm a shill getting paid by Big Pharma? I'm not. I'm just a daughter to a mother who's been in healthcare for over 4 decades. Sister to an individual who's been in healthcare for 4 years. Cousin to someone who's been working in healthcare for the last 5 years. That. I'm an individual who sat in ER waiting rooms, waiting for either my mother or my brother to get off work so that I could get a ride home. Yeah. That. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is one of the individuals that helped lead to the rise of diseases that were almost annihilated over 2 decades ago. Rubella, measles, smallpox, whooping cough, polio, things that used to put people in iron lungs. And Elon Musk is sitting there saying, nobody can debate him. I'll take the 100,000, Elon. You can send it to the Autism Self-Advocacy Network. Put me on. Because if nobody else will do it, I am so tired. Well, I got so angry that I was up till 2 a.m. You know, when I used to get up in the mornings. And what frightens me, the reason why I'm ranting about this, is I wrote off this guy years ago, this crackpot. Let me tell you about Robert F. Kennedy Jr. This is the guy who's leading the presidential polls. He thinks Wi-Fi causes cancer. This is the guy Elon backs, that Joe Rogan is toting and saying no one can debate him. This is the guy they want to put in the presidential seat. A guy who insists on playing Russian roulette with public health. Another question. Elon said he was autistic. Granted, he used the outdated term Aspie, but he says he's autistic, right? How does it serve him in any capacity to complain and sit there and try to convince me, who's actually studied this, my mother, my brother, my cousin, my cousin's wife who's worked for a nurse for over a decade, who's watched children die from smallpox, from whooping cough. No, but I'm supposed to listen to these people. Let's look at the comments. I'm sorry, I'm a little fired up, folks. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. cement shoes. Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who's leading in the polls, who helped spread the anti-vaxxer. Now, I'm not talking COVID days, folks. I'm talking MMR causes autisms. That guy's leading in the polls. He thinks Wi-Fi causes cancer. Let's see here. I feel like cement shoes, that's an insult to AIs. AIs look more human than he does. They certainly have more capacity for critical thought. I don't know what his face looks like other than just stupid. I don't mean to insult looks, but any individual who gives someone like Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Mr. MMR is dangerous, polio is preferable to autism, that guy should somehow be leading in the presidential polls. Could somebody please shoot me? Because when the hell did I go to sleep and wake up in Bizarro World? Just saying. Right? Leading presidential candidate. Wi-Fi causes cancer. So am I. Now, here's the fun fact, folks. I got the Twitter blue. Not because I'm a conservative idiot, but because I felt like if I got Twitter blue, it would allow me to reach a further audience to basically destroy the JRC. Now, I feel because of this insanity that he's supporting, that he's giving a platform, I want to remove that blue check mark. I have gone both on my laptop and on my phone. It does not show me anywhere where I can remove that blue check mark. Because I will not fund this stupidity. I will not fund a man who is giving platform to crackpots. And I'm also surprised I still go on there because I go after these bastards. I go after Elon. I go after the Missouri GOP who continue to Photoshop shit and say that it's the drag queens out here. Because I live out here. I go to these places. It's literally not what's happening at all. And I do mean I've seen it with my own eyes. A cement shoes. Maybe his face is cut up like that because he dated AH and he just can't get the smell out of his head. Sorry, no, I'm going there. I need some humor. I did not see that. Did you send that on Insta? Let me know which one because, yeah, I'm preloading videos. I got 2 more to do after that, and that would be good. I know that there is the Sarah Villa case going on right now because I just did a video on it about Sarah Villa, who they abused, punched. I knew that investigation was going on because I'm just starting to get into it now, but right. Let's forget about the fact that he's Elon's supposed to be this highly intelligent intellectual, right? First, he dates this woman after he fully knows she shit the bed. Then he platforms complete bonkers cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs crackpots like RFK Jr. And I'm supposed to listen to this person? I'm supposed to listen to this person. I'm supposed to believe he is a very highly educated intellectual, this guy who's giving platforms to crackpots and giving them platforms. Please do, Cement Shoes. I would appreciate it. It's fine, Sean B. It's completely fine. I get it. I'm surprised I can form a coherent thought because I didn't get much sleep because I was just too angry. Because I've seen the toll on the healthcare workers when these epidemics go through of diseases that were previously almost eradicated. I've seen the toll on the poor people who has to take care of these kids because their parents were so scared of the goddamn boogeyman autisms that they don't care about putting the public safety at risk. God, I'm getting fired up all over again. It happens, Sean B. I get it. Seriously, anyone into true crime? I think AH missed out on dating Mark Redwine. He'd be right up her alley. I can't. I can't with either of these. There's something that anti-vaxxers and crackpots like JFK Jr. have in common with the AH supporters. Or any stands that are so inundated by their person that they're obsessed with that they can't seem to distinctly figure out fantasy from reality. They all have one thing in common. I've seen it multiple times. And that is they don't like facts. They don't like evidence. They don't like receipts. So what they do when you present them with them is say that you're part of some conspiracy. B, you're getting paid. C, you're a bot. Ugh. It goes on ad nauseum, doesn't it? these are the individuals I can't seem to wrap my brain around. And this is me as a person who is utterly like hyper fixated on figuring out how the human brain works. Like hyper fixated. And I cannot wrap my brain around these individuals like the stands, like anti-vaxxers, that anytime you present them with any facts, data, receipts, pictures, ER documents, anytime, they will claim that it's fake, photoshopped, you're a part of conspiracy, you're getting paid, you're a bot. You can't debate that. You can't debate an individual that when you present actual facts and documents will claim that it's fake. Cooked up by this person, that person. You can't debate that. Because they won't debate on the facts. They'd rather live in La La Land where I'm getting paid. My God, if I'm getting paid by all these individuals, if I'm getting paid by Big Pharma, Georgie Soros, and JD, where's my check? Because I would kind of like the hell out of this hellscape that they call Missouri. I would like a sectional that has not been gotten off of the freaking Walmart website. I would like maybe I don't know, a bedroom door that opens up to a pool area. If I'm getting paid by all these people, why am I sitting on just $90 right now? You know, can somebody explain this to me? Because it doesn't make sense. Sean B. So do you think Elon will ever hand Twitter over to someone who doesn't not destroy it, or is that unlikely? I don't think Elon has any idea what the hell he's doing. Can I be point blank here? I mean, it is my channel. I don't think he has the first freaking clue what the hell he's doing. I think he just flies by the seam of his pants and yeah. I think he just makes decisions at random. Whether or not they make sense, he's going to double down on it. No, I mean, we've got that. I've been seeing it ever since this new poll came out. All these people, you're a butt. You're a shill for Big Pharma. If I'm a shill from Big Pharma, what the hell? If I were a shill for Big Pharma, y'all would know. Because you'd probably never see my ass again unless it was to protest at the JRC. Place would have a bit more of an ocean view, you know what I mean? God. I'm getting paid apparently by Johnny, by George Soros, by Big Pharma. I check the mail every day. They're a few decades late on their payments to me, if that's supposed to be the case. Good God. Right. I'm getting paid by Big Pharma. Let me go pull a Johnny and just have my own fucking island. With no people. Just me and my damn cat. No people, no social media, just me and some old silent films and my cat, where I occasionally go out by the ocean and read and swim and shit. Like, just saying. Just saying. Not sure where Skidmore is. I'm out more closer towards Branson, also known as the city where old Hollywood stars come to die. That's an old joke. And we had the Andy Williams Theater out there for years after he retired. And a few others got some theaters out here. I know we got Dixie Stampede. That's been here since I was a kid. But yeah, I'm not sure where that is. Right. Anybody who thinks that Elon is going to save America needs a reality check. Elon cares about Elon. And whatever weird crackpot conspiracy theory he wants to tote because it piqued his humor this week. 24 hour chef. I don't know. I like to cook. I do like to cook. But I'm just saying. I'd prefer a maid. That would be good. Just a maid to do all the house cleaning, and if I need transport anywhere, they have to drive me. That I could go with. The Ken McElroy case. Yeah, that one I'm not really familiar with. But then again, I've been so deeply embroiled in the whole agape debacle that I haven't really seen that many cases outside of it. And now I'll announce it. I announced it in one of my preload videos. I got to do a series on this channel of vids as to explaining in explicit detail why Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is a complete nut bar crackpot. How anyone can read anything he said previously within the last 3 decades can take this man seriously as a presidential candidate. Again, can someone explain to me when I fell asleep and woke up in Bizarro World? Because that's what it feels like more and more every single day, that people are willing left and right to buy into the most insane, stupid crap. Including, one of my biggest things about all of this is you got conservatives and leftists sitting there demanding, but we deserve a debate. And I just want to scream at the top of my lungs, it's been debated. The debate has already happened. Every time anyone presents facts, receipts, data, you claim that it was all paid for by Big Pharma. Just God. The whole town was involved in a hit on one guy, vigilante justice. I'm going to be this person. There are times and situations, in particular when it comes to pedophiles, that I don't condone it, but I understand it for vigilante justice, if that makes sense. Problem with vigilante justice is a person can be accused, like all of us who watched the JD case knows, a person can be accused and be completely innocent. This is why I don't like lynch mob mentality. If he gets elected, I don't know. I don't know where I'm going, but Japan's looking better every day. Japan, Greece. I've been to Scotland. I loved Scotland. I don't know how I'd be able to afford it, but I don't know. I might hitchhike at this point. As far as the other Kennedys, I was not alive. Point blank, was not alive. This guy I know very well. All of us who've gone after this insanity for decades know him well. If that guy gets elected, I don't know. Can you apply for asylum? Anybody want to offer asylum if this insanity happens? I'd go just about anywhere. I got a zero tolerance policy with the pedos. Or as everybody I knows call it, my brother's passed around the memes, pedophilin, pill bottle full of bullets. And don't forget the wood chipper. Because I kind of would buy one and call it Old Faithful. Maybe that makes me a bad person. I don't know. There's a reason I don't engage in politics outside of what I do for disability rights. It's because I've worked with these fuckers. Left and right. I can tell you, they do not care about our best interests. They care about following the agenda of whoever is lining their pockets. Anybody else who tells you any different is selling something. The only time they did anything, literally anything, for disability rights is, I'm sorry, but these are the tactics that I had to rely very heavily on to actually get anything done with them. They respond to two things: their wallets and the ballot box. That's it, and that's all. I have only met one politician. One. Out of the several I have dealt with in this state. One that actually gave two shits about the best interests of the constituents they serve. One. All the rest of them? Yeah. Ballot box wallet. And by the way, that old adage that policies don't get decided on the Senate and Congress floor, they get decided in bars and backroom deals. It's true. That's where the real politics happen. It's at the bars after the major political events. That's where the lobbyists and the advocates' real work actually falls in. I know this because I've done it. That's what I had to do. Thankfully, I was good enough to actually at least get a few things done in my state. But that's how it's done. That's where the real politics are. Everything else is just for public show. That's a personal opinion of mine, granted. But the Senate and Congress floor is a show. It's all a show. What happens when the cameras are off? In the bars, in the back hotel rooms. That's where the policies are actually being decided and made. This is, of course, I'm speaking for myself. These are things I've actually lived. But these people act out of their own interests, not ours. The only time you can get them to actually do something good and right, unless you catch them early in their careers before they get corrupted, it's threats. It's reminding them how many of us vote. It's threatening to hit their wallet. It's the only time. Or they do it as a big political stunt to look good in the media when they're running for office. I don't know, Seaman Shoes, or if you were ever a fan of George Carlin, but during one of his last specials, he said some of the most true shit you'll ever hear out of anybody. It's the thing that these politicians, these billionaires, because let's not get it twisted. The politicians do not run this shit. The people with the money bags who own the politicians run this shit. That line of it's a big club and you ain't in it. Yeah. Those are the facts. It's a big club and you and me, we're not a part of it. Let's see here. Also believe live burial. I kind of like that meme with Queen Elizabeth I that says, fetch me the dick guillotine, the small one. It is Cement Shoes. I've lived it. I've literally lived it. It may not be the same experience for everybody. I don't want to be overreaching here, but by and large, that's where policies are decided. Everything else is nothing more than a show. Scripted as hell. I'm telling you. One of the biggest things in politics, the biggest, is blackmail. Just saying. Okay, now I'm jealous. And I was already jealous because my cousin got to see Paige and Plant perform in the 90s. And yeah, I was really young, but you don't want to know what I was willing to do to be able to go to that show. It really is. It really is. Now I'm going to bring something up that will probably piss people off, but funnily enough, I don't care. Right. So we have a radio station out here called US 97. It's been around for years. And he won the tickets from the radio station and got to go. I am still not over it. But anyways, the whole Democrats, Republicans, pedo. Let me be blunt here. There are pedophiles on the right and the left. This is the logic. quite clearly, particularly those people who line those insane indoctrination camps they call evangelical schools, have come up in the news countless times. Child porn, child abuse allegations, sexual abuse of a minor allegations. They line from California through the middle of the country to Missouri to Kentucky to Florida. The left obviously have their pedos too. This is not a left or right issue. Pedos come from every walk of life. To use this as political points or to push one agenda or another is insane. Why can't we all agree that there are pedos everywhere from every walk of life, and they at the very least, belong behind bars? Why is this controversial? Everybody's claiming you have each other's side. Everybody's coddling pedophiles, right? Fact is, pedophiles come from left and right. Democrats, Republicans, it doesn't matter. Look at the news. Why can't we just universally agree that pedophile's bad? Why we get to use it as a way to win political points? Can somebody make sense of that for me? Because I'm tired. I am tired. I see allegations from those schools of people getting caught diddling kids in places like Agape every single day. I see things coming from the left side, pedophiles diddling young girls every day. It is not a right or left thing. It should not be used to win political points. It's maddening. Absolutely maddening. The only thing I agree with Iran on is how they handle the peas. Hang them from the cranes. Hang them from cranes. At least chemically castrate them. Can this be a thing? As far as I know, as the medical science goes, in one of my hyperfixations, medical science, there has been nothing that has been developed that has been able to curb those tendencies to diddle kids. What is wrong with chemical castration? And no, I don't mean pills that they can stop taking at any time. I mean permanent. Permanent. Why is this controversial? The big, thick boat rope. Sorry, weird autistic moment, flashback to boat rope. Not because that came out wrong. I used to go boating when I was a kid every weekend with my uncle, his family, my mom, brother, and I. We used to go Stockton every weekend during the summers. So, and he had a boat and ropes that were used to tie up. We called it the yellow torpedo, where you got on there and drove around by the boat. Sorry, I got distracted. Heat cleavers. Bone saws. Sorry, that's actually my brother's contribution, not mine. Bone saws. That's his solution. Bone saws. But yeah. So I guess this is why I'm an independent, because I think both sides are batshit. Both sides are allergic to facts. Both of them reject any kind of receipts or data that you place in front of them. Both want to scream at each other, claiming this, that, or the other thing. Meanwhile, the actual politicians are back in the back rooms, shaking their heads. They don't actually believe the things that they say, folks. They're just telling you what they think you want to hear so that you will continue to put them in office so that they can continue to have their pockets lined by this mega corp or that. That's all it really is. It's a horse and pony show on crack. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm autistic, but I like facts. I like evidence. Because facts, evidence, they don't have political alliances. There's no cult of personality on a data sheet. They don't care about your feelings. They don't care about your agenda. They don't care how you feel. Cold, hard facts and evidence just simply are. There's no lie. There's no made up. You see where I'm going here. I like facts. I like evidence. Everything else just annoys the piss out of me. It's like the whole believe all women. Women would never lie about anything like that. Have you met women? I say this as an autistic woman, so maybe my perspective is skewed. But women will lie. Women will start rumors. Women will backstab. Women will go out of their way to destroy someone and their lives completely. I've seen it. Hell, I've lived it. Most of my friends were guys for years because of that. Because they backstab, they start rumors, they talk crap behind your back to everyone willing to listen. And these individuals that I know will viciously eviscerate someone socially at the smallest provocation, and I'm just supposed to listen and believe? To these individuals, I ask, are you on crack? Is that what you smoke? Seriously. She's a prime example, but she's by far not alone. And by the way, if you're a woman who is non-conforming, if you have a little something neurologically different and you don't act like them, you become every much as a target as any man. I know this because I've been that target more than once. Exactly. My God, these people act like they've never went to public high school before. They will backstab. They will lie. They will start rumors. They will do everything they can to make your life hell. You want to, and they'll do it over a disagreement. Most of the guys I've known, you want to know how they settle their disagreements? Do they go around talking crap behind people's backs, starting rumors? No, they get in a fist fight. Fist fight right there. Usually after the fist fight, which I can't comprehend, by the way, they will then eventually help each other up and then go on with their lives. Women will continue to target a particular victim of theirs over and over and over again. This is why it pisses me off. You don't stand with your women sisters. Why should I stand with someone who's never stood with me? That's my question. Why should I stand with individuals who never once stood up for me or any of my other neurodiverse brothers and sisters, anybody who's within the disability community? I mean, they've never stood up alongside us against the JRC. They've never gone after Agape. They've never gone after these individuals who try to strip our hard-earned disability rights every single day. But I'm supposed to care because some rich celebrity says, but he did this. And I'm just in this idiotic idea of sisterhood go rah, rah for individuals who didn't even try to stand with us for something that actually happened and is still happening. Can anybody explain this to me? There's a reason why we stand by our own in my community. It's because nobody else will. Right? I'm saying, whatever they're smoking, it must be some good shit. Skidmarticus. Right? Some of the most vindictive, evil, maniacal creatures I have ever dealt with in my entire life have been women. The people who would, in high school, systemically attack me at all times, women. People who still attack me now, who will scream at their top of their lungs at me, who will demand, literally demand and scream that they are entitled to my medical documents. Every single last one of them has been a woman. Every last one of them. But I'm supposed to push that aside and believe a lie. And a bad lie. God, it's so bad. So bad. When you have a woman basically painting a picture of a so-called incident that sounds like it's a bad acid trip with no logical explanation or anything that makes any kind of logical, coherent sense, but I'm just supposed to believe it because it's this somehow fake, invisible idea of sisterhood. I'm supposed to ignore logic, facts, and evidence because women, the same women who have gone out of their way to make my life and the lives of many of us who are not neurotypical women a living hell. And I'm supposed to allow them and go raw and cheer them on. Please. I prefer weed. I'm sorry, Cement Shoes, but this whole mentality. He came down the stairs covered head to toe in mashed potatoes, hiding bits of raw meat all over the house, and then a bird flew in. I'm sorry, that sounds like a bad acid trip to me. This tells me that she was on some bad shrooms. She got some bad pie. Bad pie. Because that's what that sounds like. That whole so-called incident sounds a little like... And basically, I'm supposed to believe that somehow he can Hulk out. That this man in particular somehow is some kind of special ass grade A mutant that can break the laws of physics because believe women. This is why I don't have a whole lot of female friends. Because I just can't. I just can't. Right? Right? Thank you. Thank you. I can't deal with illogical crackpots. I can't. I can't deal with individuals who will scream at me to ignore data, ignore evidence, ignore facts, or I'm part of the conspiracy somehow. From anti-vaxxers to AH supporters to people, whatever you got against Georgie Soros, I'm not getting paid. Okay? Because I would have been rich a long damn time ago. Because I've been doing this shit for coming up on 2 decades, the entirety of my adult life. Where are these magical checks I'm supposed to be getting? No, because seriously, I would like to move out of this state, pull a Johnny, and just have my own fucking island with me, my cat, and a goddamn buck. That would be great. I know I will never have these things, but... Right? Oh my God, don't remind me. Out of all the lines that are completely nonsensical, and they want to scream at you, that's not what she's really saying. We're aware, Karen, but that doesn't mean that the words that came out of her mouth were not beyond stupid. I'm supposed to believe this woman is intelligent. I'm supposed to believe she's this amazing actress. Yet somehow she can't seem to figure out how to string a coherent sentence together in order to get across the point she's trying to make. Because I know the context that she was trying to go with there. That he's a brilliant actor and he was putting on a show. I know where she was going. But the way she stated it, and then provided no context afterwards, and I'm supposed to believe this is an intelligent person? Granted, he wasn't putting on a show. I know this because, like the JRC survivors, he backed up his statement with receipts. See, that's the difference. You don't support victims. I don't support fake victims. The victims I do support literally have receipts for their receipts. You look at those JRC kids. They're not just making accusations. They are adding up. They have receipt after receipt after receipt, and AH has crickets. That's the difference. But I asked for evidence, and I'm the bad guy, somehow. Right? Oh, but now let's get into our other subject. We're going about an hour. We'll go for about 30 minutes more. But speaking of things that went on this week, I may or may not have started something against her current movie, Into the Fire, and I'm not sorry. So what you're seeing on Twitter, her little AH stands, and what they're saying she's going to get an Oscar for. Allow me to tell you what that is. Into the Fire is a film that starts with, it's supposed to be a supernatural thriller of an autistic boy and his dad, who the villagers think is demon possessed, because we love being compared with demon possession. That's great. The villagers are so-called ignorant villagers, or people of color. That the villagers blame for all the troubles. God, if that doesn't fucking sound familiar. And who comes to save us? Two tropes here. White savior, white neurotypical savior trope. AH is going to come out, a female psychiatrist. I hate to bust your bubble with a little bit of reality, folks, but women were not, at least the few that were very far in between psychiatrists at the time. They want to scream misogyny? That was the time of real misogyny. All right, start with that. But she's going to come into this village and correctly diagnose the boy with autism. A diagnosis that didn't even exist, let alone be more widely known even in the medical community until the 1930s. Oh, but it gets worse. AH heals the boy of his autism. We hit the trifecta here. Racism, ableism, cure culture, all in one film. All in one film. And they are toting it saying, this is her comeback. I don't know if anybody else was paying attention, but you remember the last time somebody tried to pull that kind of crap? Granted, it was not racist. It was just ableistic garbage. But does anyone remember what happened to Sia after she put out that garbage fire that was the movie music? Like, did they not watch that and see what happened? I mean, I thought AH was supposed to be up on current events. Did she not watch that whole debacle? Because it was played out in both social media and mainstream news for months. Because me and my community, when she decided to attack us, when we were trying to politely ask her questions, we fought back. We fought back hard. kind of our thing. And we exposed in research and digging all the horrific ableistic tropes throughout the entirety of the movie, the inaccurate portrayal of autism in the movie, and the type of things that they used in there, such as full body restraint, that has caused the death of multiple autistics, kids, adults, elderly alike. And yeah, we systemically destroyed that movie because we don't play around. We're not polite. Like, seriously? Right, Sean? The whole thing is yikes. Now remove AH. Even if she had nothing to do with it, I'd still come for this movie because it's garbage. But that's the script that she said, this is going to get me my Oscar. As though the whole Sia situation never happened. Seriously? They got a queen of those who need psychiatrists playing a psychiatrist. Right? Right? This right here. This whole thing. Right here. Like, AH is my definition of a bunny boiler. I'm sorry, but I'm going to call it like I see it. I listened to those audios. That is bunny boiler, fatal attraction, right there. I'm not sorry. Bunny boiling. God. Gives me freaking creeps. Exactly. Thank you. How anyone could hire her for acting after that performance on the stand. She couldn't. This is supposed to be an actress. Her livelihood was on the line, and she still couldn't pull it off. God. AH having that new film, I think, was on purpose for it to compete with Johnny's new film. Explain to me how that's supposed to compete, though. This is what boggles my mind, that they think that this is an argument. Something very clearly racist, clearly ableist, almost like the script was designed to piss off the maximum amount of people in one go. And she decided, oh, this will be great. Are you kidding me? Was she high when she accepted the role? That had to be a special drug, too, because I used to be an alcoholic. And if I were an actress and I read that, I wouldn't touch it with a 30-foot pole. Right? She's got bunny boiler written all over her. God. Ugh. So it's a historic film that Seema chose. It's about the mistress of one of the French kings. The number escapes me because I'm just that level of brain dead today. But one of the French king's mistresses. It's a biopic. I'm a fan of historical fiction, so I'm just politely waiting until I can stream it because I know nobody gives a shit to actually get it to the theaters out here in bumfuck Springfield, Missouri. I don't care if I dox myself. Come find me. I'm a call center jockey with hours and hours of basically shut-in general rage. repressed rage. Try me at your own risk. Had to be drunk. And I don't mean my kind of drunk, and I used to get special drunk. My more alcoholic days, let's see here. One sitting, I put down 3 Long Islands, 7 beers, I believe 5 or 6 shots, all in one setting, within a scope of an hour or 2. And I still wouldn't have touched that film. She must have been drinking something special with a side of crack to decide that that was the movie to try. God. Bending elbows. I'm just saying, I'm not shaming anyone for addiction. I am a recovering alcoholic. I'm working on about 3 years sober. About 3 years sober. But shaming her for addiction, I don't do that. What I'm shaming her for is her absolutely piss-poor decisions when it comes to acting jobs. I should be getting all this money all these other people's are getting. 2 things. She picks the worst scripts. The worst scripts. Number 2, she can't act at all. At all. Good God, I'm not an actress. I mask, but I'm not an actress. I could put on a better performance than that. And you wouldn't catch me within sight of Hollywood. I don't know, maybe if I had to fight for disability rights, I might force myself to be there, but as soon as it was over with, I would speed back to sanity as fast as I could possibly get there. If I could teleport, I would. Hey, Chairman. Hey, 7 Ales. For you guys who just came in, if you want to know what I started this with and why the picture for open chat today was of the iron lung is RFK Jr. But right now we're kind of moving on to the train wreck that is AH's so-called comeback film. There's a reason why I said it may be a lot of things, but comeback is not one of them. Because as I told you guys, 7Ls can back me up here, the autistic community is not a community to be going and pissing off. And your idea of a comeback is to basically blatantly do a film comparing our diagnosis to demonic possession, cram cure culture down our throats by having Amber Heard come out to heal the autistic boy, and then go on top of that with the white savior trope of she's going to educate the ignorant people of color villagers to top it off. Like, was she just is she trying to single-mindedly destroy what's left of her career? Is she going full Hollywood kamikaze on this shit? Because that's what it sounds like. She trying to commit career suicide? Because if so, If so, bravo, this is the film. If you want to commit career suicide as an actress, pick a film like this. Right? And then it was greenlit. As though the whole Sia music thing never happened. That's what's mind-boggling to me. It's like Hollywood saw what happened to Sia, and he's like, and instead of taking it as a lesson learned, they're like, you know what would be good? Let's do a movie worse than music. That'd be great. Audience will love it. Talk about out of touch with your audience. I mean, seriously, talk about being out of touch with your audience. When people like Johnny and other actors, even people like Anthony Hopkins, whom I also support and freely shill for all day, every day for free, will sit there and tell you that it's the Hollywood bubble, this is what they mean. This is how out of touch they are with the reality that the rest of us live. That they think this ableist, racist piece of dumpster fire was a good idea to greenlight. And then showcase at a film festival. After what happened with Sia. No, seriously, it's like this. You know how music just got like totally torn apart, right? You know what'd be good? Let's add racism on top of it. I'm starting to think that people who are gaslighting these films must be baboons, chimpanzees. Maybe it's a one irritated squirrel. I don't know, but right? And who advised her that this would be a good film to come back on? Because that guy needs to be fired. It's a Sia thing at Cement Shoes. Look it up. It's a special level dumpster fire. Hey, Chairman. I can't hear you, hon. Can't hear you. Check your audio. Can't. Maybe it's me. I don't know. I'm just saying, Cement Shoes. Baboons and squirrels. It's the only thing that makes coherent sense. I can't hear you. No, hon. It's all right. Chairman. We're getting ready to close out anyways. It's getting towards the hour and 30-minute mark. So I'm going to go ahead and get it wrapped up. But I appreciate you coming on. I really do. Let's finish it up here. 7 Ales, the classic ableist viewpoint that anything that doesn't conform to their beliefs and narrative must be made to do so. Yep. Got it in one. Got it in one. Thank you. Right? All right, guys. I appreciate all of you guys coming on. I'm going to go ahead and close out for this evening. Thank all of you for coming on and commenting. You really helped keep it going. I will look into. I got a vacation now that I'm having, so I'll have to look into the Perry Mason reboot. I do appreciate everyone coming on this evening. I look forward to talking to you guys the Friday after next. As always, we here at Spilling Tea hope you all have a good one. I hope you all have a great night. Bye-bye, everybody.